Hey, Pretty Girl Club. I want to talk about something that I've never heard any creator talk about, and that is jealousy of relaxers, texturizers, keratin treatments, being able to highlight your hair and it doesn't break off. I just feel like some women, they may not be jealous of a certain hair texture, but they're jealous of your hair's manageability overall. I think some women get mad because when they try to manipulate their hair or put chemicals on it, it just breaks off instantly. And I recently came across a few Reddit posts, and they have this relaxer subreddit that I just found this morning. And apparently, it's a bunch of women who have tried to relax their hair, and their hair is so coily to where it doesn't hold the relaxer, or they're saying that their relaxers only last for a few weeks before it reverts back to 4C. So I've noticed what some of these women will do is they try to project onto the exoticals because I recently made a shorts video talking about silky versus cottony hair textures, and I got people commenting saying I don't know what I'm talking about, and it's like, okay, which one is it? I thought you guys just said that I had 4C hair and that all of us exoticals have 4C hair, and now you guys are saying, oh, well, it's clear that she doesn't know what she's talking about. It's clear that the creator doesn't have 4C hair. That's why she's saying it like this. And it's like, okay, my talking point still stands. I think that some women are jealous of the manageability and the versatility of other women's hair, regardless of their hair texture. There are some women who have 4C hair, and when they relax their hair or when they put highlights or whatever, their hair is still on their head. They don't have alopecia. They have all of their edges. Their heads don't look like a bowling ball when they turn to the side because it's completely ripped off. So I think that's another point of jealousy. I think some women are jealous of your ability to either grow your hair, or if you do have 4C, like I've noticed there's this hierarchy that black women are creating even amongst the 4C community where it's the fine textured 4C women versus the thicker textured 4C women. And then you've got the 4C girls who are mad at the women who have 4C, but they can get a relaxer and then their hair doesn't go bald. And the women with 4C where they still have all their edges, or they were able to grow long 4C hair, and then her 4C hair has been breaking off for the past 25 years. So it's like, ma'am, just admit that you're a hierarchy thinker and be done. I have never seen women get so mad because somebody was able to relax their hair. I think that's insane. I've never even heard of that until I got on YouTube. You're jealous because she was able to relax her 4C hair and now she is, her hair's down her back. Her hair is mid back length and it's sleek and it's healthy. And I think that's another thing too. I've noticed that a lot of people in the monocultural black community, they have all of these rules about natural hair. I would call them, the natural hair Nazis. They've got all these rules like, oh, if you put color in your hair, it's automatically going to be damaged. If you put some sort of chemical, it's automatically going to be damaged. If you straighten your hair, it's going to be damaged. And it's like, do you just want other women to suffer? Like, it's almost this mindset of, I suffered with my 4C hair, so I'm mad that she didn't have to suffer with her 4C hair. So now I'm going to try to call her out and shame her for having a relaxer. I'm going to try to shame her because she wore highlights. And it's like, some women are just jealous of your hair's versatility. They're jealous of the fact that you are skilled at doing hair. And I hear a lot of women saying, oh, well, her hair is only long because of genetics. And it's like, okay, so are you admitting that your genetics are inferior then? Like, are you admitting that you are living under a generational curse where none of the women in your bloodline can grow long hair? Because are you sure you want to promote that talking point? So it's almost like women with 4C hair, they're creating a divide amongst the other women with 4C hair who actually took care of their 4C hair. No matter how they took care, I don't actually care what women do with their 4C hair. I don't care if you permed it. I don't care if you relaxed or put Japanese straightening or whatever. I don't care. If you love your hair the way it is, or if that's the style that you like, that's fine. And I find it interesting that you see a lot of black women saying, oh, stay out of black women's business, stay out of black women's hair. And it's like, okay, you guys aren't doing that because you're obsessed with other black women's hair. You're obsessed with the black women who achieved hairstyles that you couldn't achieve. You're obsessed with the black women who achieved length that you couldn't achieve. And I feel like women, they're starting to create this hierarchy even in the 4C community. And it's almost like, the struggle bunnies are all coming together. The women who hate their 4C hair and they make those videos talking about they hate it. Those women are coming against the 4C women whose hair is healthy. So I don't care how your hair is healthy. Your hair can be healthy and have color in it. It can be healthy and be straightened. It can be healthy and be in braids or whatever. And I think that women get mad because it's this mindset of, wait a minute, how come my 4C hair is bald headed and you have a head full of hair? Why is it that when I put braids in my hair falls out, but then when you put braids in, your hair can still grow? And I think that there are some women where they just want you to suffer like them. So, have you ever met like the type 4 natural hair Nazis? They feel like, I'm 4C and I wear my hair in freeform locks, and so you should wear your hair in freeform locks. And it's like, why does everybody have to have the exact same hairstyle? Why is it that you're trying to police other 4C women from doing anything different with their hair? And I've noticed they seem to shame you the most if you have 4C and you get like a relaxer. It's like they shame you the most. They don't shame the women with the broken off relaxers. They only shame the 4C women who have long hair and it's relaxed. And I'm not promoting it. I'm not saying like you should get relaxers or whatever, but I've just noticed that it almost comes off as jealousy. It literally comes off like you're just mad that she found a system that works for her. She found a hair strategy that fits in with her schedule. All this talk about, oh, well, I wear wigs because it's easier. I wear lace fronts because it fits with my schedule. Okay, so you wear a lace front and you don't want people to talk shit about you. So why are you suddenly trying to talk shit about women who have long 4C hair that's relaxed? It's almost like people, they get mad when you don't want to look like them. That's what it is. You're just mad because she doesn't want to look like you. She doesn't want freeform locks. She doesn't want alopecia on both sides of her head. She wants to keep her edges. She doesn't want to wear a lace front. And it's like, how are you going to get mad at somebody because they are relaxing their 4C hair? I would rather, if I had the choice, let's say I had 4C hair, I would rather my hair be relaxed and long and real and, it's still my hair coming out of my head and maybe I found out a way to make it healthy versus relying on lace fronts and then I don't have any edges and then my hair is balding. So it's like, which one is it? Do you want her to be bald-headed? It sounds like you just want this woman to be bald-headed like you. And I think another reason that we see people policing 4C women in general is because they want to be able to trauma bond with you. I think that's what it is. So if you have 4C hair and let's say you figured out some sort of style that looks really great on you, you like your hair, you like the lifestyle you're living, it's almost as if other women get mad because they can no longer complain with you. They can no longer talk about how hard it is to have 4C hair because you found a way to manage your 4C hair. You found a style that works for you. You found a way to make, maybe you did the cute highlights and then you found out how to make it work. Or maybe you're sticking with a pixie cut or, you found something to where it works for your internalized beauty standard. I really think that's the root of the jealousy amongst 4C women. They get mad at other 4C women who found a way to meet their own internalized beauty standard with no damage to their hair. I've noticed that a lot of women who have 4C hair with inferiority complexes, they get threatened by confident women who have 4C hair. And it's like, 4C hair can still have versatility. I've seen women on YouTube with 4C hair. They have color in their hair or a relaxer or they straightened it or they did locks or whatever and their hair was still healthy. So it sounds like some women are just jealous because the women with the healthy 4C hair, they don't have as much frustration with their hair routine. And a lot of women don't want to admit that your hair can have chemicals in it and still be healthy and still grow long. I've seen women with tailbone length hair that's relaxed. I've seen women with, especially in Dominican Republic, go to the Dominican Republic, go to the Afro-Latina communities And you will see a lot of women with all kinds of chemicals in their hair, and their hair is still long and healthy. They'll have blonde highlights, red highlights, blue, green, purple, relaxers, keratin treatments, Japanese, whatever. They'll be straightening it all the time, going to the salon, getting a Dominican blowout, and their hair is still tailbone length. Everybody's hair can't handle that because everybody doesn't have strong hair strands. So if you have weak hair strands, just say it. Because I've noticed that some women, they're trying to shame 4C women, like Doja Cat. Remember how Doja Cat, people made fun of her 4C hair, and then Doja Cat, she shaved her head, she dyed it blonde, and she wears wigs, and it's like, okay, you guys talk shit about Doja Cat, whether her hair is natural, whether it's short, whether she's in a lace front. So Doja Cat just started doing whatever the fuck she wanted, and she looks good while doing it. But I've noticed in the monocultural black community, they put beauty on a hierarchy. So they're obsessed with natural white beauty, or like natural beauty that is, has proximity to whiteness or proximity to like a biracial person. So if your hair is naturally 4C, and then let's say you relaxed it or you dyed it blonde or something, there's always going to be a black woman that comes up and says, oh, well, that's not how your hair naturally is. Well, your hair isn't naturally that long and pretty. Your hair wasn't naturally like that. You only have tailbone length hair because you relaxed it. You have to keep getting relaxers for the rest of your life. You have to keep dyeing it blonde for the rest of your life. And it's like, ma'am, do you realize that some women enjoy having chemicals in their hair? That's what a hair salon is for. That's why you go to a professional. It's because, and that's another thing. A lot of women are actually jealous when you have access to a salon. Do you know how many women in the 4C community are frustrated with salons? There are some women who live in a city where every salon in their city is dusty. They have a whole bunch of dusty hair salons. They live in the middle of the ghetto, or they live in a very small town, so they don't have access to hair salons. And then they don't have the money to fly out of town to get their 4C hair taken care of. So I think that another point of jealousy is the lifestyle of being able to go to the salon. You're able to go and get a sew-in, or you're able to grow out your natural 4C hair. You're able to get your locks taken care of. And she's not. She can't afford to go to a person that does locks. She doesn't have the money to get her locks taken care of once a month. And so I've noticed that's why they try to shame women with 4C hair who are manipulating their hair. And they're putting it on a hierarchy because it's like, okay, women with type 3, type 2, and type 1 hair, they can all manipulate their hair. But then suddenly when she has 4C, you want to shame her because she manipulated hers. Maybe she didn't want to look like you. Maybe she didn't want to have the same insecurities as you. Maybe she doesn't want to be associated with your collective image. And that's another thing. It's like they want to have this sisterhood. They want to have this sisterhood based in trauma. They want to have this sisterhood based on wearing your hair in a 4C wash and go, or just, you can only wear it in a puff for the rest of your life. And I've noticed that when it comes to beauty enhancements, the basic Betties, they always try to scare you out of doing any form of a beauty enhancement, like plastic surgery, weight loss, whatever it is. There's always going to be a group of people who shows the negative results. They always want to promote the botched surgeries. They never show you the good surgeries. They always want to promote the hair breakage. They never show you when the hair looks good and it's healthy and natural. They always show you the worst case scenarios. It's like a form of fear-mongering. So I've noticed in the 4C community, they're trying to attack the exoticals with 4C hair because they want those women to feel afraid of trying out a new hairstyle. They also want those women to feel left out. They want women in the exotical community to feel like they're beneath the women who have the natural type 3 hair. That's what it is. They want you to feel inferior. They want you to feel left out based on your hair texture. When in reality, nobody actually gives a fuck. Nobody actually cares what you do with your hair. The only people who really care are like jealous women, women who want to compare themselves to you, or men who want to fuck you. Those are the only two groups of people who care about your hair and how it looks. And you guys have heard me talk about this on my channel. I actually don't care what your internal beauty standard is. I don't care if you think another hairstyle looks better than yours. I don't care if you like your hair texture or not. What I care about is how do you treat women who were born with that hair texture? So, for example, in my case, I wear blonde hair all the time. I wear different color highlights, blonde, red. So, I don't go around and tell blonde headed white women that their hair is ugly. I don't come on YouTube and try to pretend that blonde hair is ugly. I have no problem admitting, oh, I think blonde hair looks beautiful. I think it looks cute. I think it's gorgeous. I think it looks very pretty. If you have blonde hair, you're a part of my internalized beauty standard. I don't try to lie and say things like, oh, well, my 4C hair is the best hair texture ever. I think my hair texture is the prettiest, but then I go and put on a different hair texture. So I don't have a problem with people changing their hair. I have a problem with the extreme hypocrisy and the jealousy. And I've also noticed that a lot of women who have healthy, long 4C hair, whether it's relaxed, natural, whatever, a lot of those women will actually gatekeep their hair routines. That's why women are not telling you their hair secrets because they know that you're going to just judge them and shame them. They know that you're just going to make fun of whatever they're doing. So some women are choosing to just enjoy their 4C hair with their highlights or whatever, and then they just live their lives. These women don't owe you an explanation as to why they got highlights. They don't owe you an explanation as to why they decided to do a different hair texture than you. So that's why you see a lot of black women, they feel like a lot of exoticals on YouTube and stuff are like secretly relaxing their hair or secretly texturizing their hair. And it's like, well, ma'am, all you're revealing is that's what you would do. If you had the same hair length as her, you would secretly relax it or texturize it and try to and pass. That's really what it is. People get mad when you pass. They get mad when your hair passes as curly. They get mad when you pass as mixed. They get mad when your hair is able to grow long with highlights in it. They're mad when your hair doesn't fit their stereotype of what your hair should be. By the way, I decided to go ahead and look up on ChatGPT, like, are relaxers and stuff, is that declining or is it growing? And it actually says that relaxers are still growing. Like, people are still purchasing them. So in the market, they're actually going up about 3 to 8%. And on ChatGPT, it's saying that because they have safer ingredients now, I guess that's causing a lot of women to purchase them again. But isn't that interesting that the same group of women who are trying to judge other women with 4C hair, if you actually look at the legit numbers, the relaxer sales are going up. So all that fear mongering, oh, well, if you dye your hair, you're going to get cancer, or if you change your hair texture, you're trying to be white. First of all, let's talk about this, trying to be white. Okay, let's say she was trying to be white. Let's say she's a bleacher, she's a self-hater. You know, let's say that black woman wishes she was white. Okay, now what? Like, did she affect your life at all? Like, do you feel better now for calling that out? Like, if a person genuinely hates themselves and they genuinely want to change themselves, they will. So you commenting is not going to stop them. If somebody wants to be Michael Jackson, if somebody wants to bleach themselves, if somebody wants to relax their hair, if somebody wants to get a nose job or whatever, you commenting and saying something negative is not going to affect them because clearly they don't give a fuck. That's why they're publicly doing it. So I think that some people in the black community, they try to use shame as a weapon. They try to, I guess, weaponize women with 4C hair. They're trying to shame those women into only wearing a high puff. And then they get mad when that woman with 4C hair admits that she thinks exoticals are pretty. If you have 4C hair and you think that type 3 hair is pretty, I don't have a problem with you. Like, if you're one of those women who says, oh no, I think exoticals are pretty, I think mixed women are beautiful, I love the aesthetic, I am going to promote your beauty, I will never stop women from wearing lace fronts because I enjoy the fact that you're popularizing my phenotype. You're popularizing my hair texture. You're popularizing me. So why would I shame women for doing that? They're literally promoting my image. So I'll never shame women who have like a 4C hair and maybe they want their hair to look different. I'm not going to shame you as long as you don't shame me. As long as you can admit that you think curly hair is beautiful or you think silky hair is beautiful, then I don't have a problem. But a lot of women are getting keratin treatments and Japanese straightening A lot of 4C women, they actually are getting those treatments. And I think that the other women are just mad because they feel left behind. That's another jealousy trigger. It's like this mindset of, how dare you not want to look like me? How dare you change yourself? How dare you do a new hairstyle? You need to have the same hairstyle for the next 50 years. How dare you try to switch it up? They feel left behind. They can't keep up. They can't afford to go and get a keratin treatment. That's actually very expensive. Keratin treatments, I think it's what, like a few $100s. It could be anywhere from what, $300 to like $1,000 or something for the different keratin treatments, Japanese straightening, and then you have to tip the salon. So a lot of women, they just feel left behind and they're mad because they don't have versatility. The only versatility she has is wigs. That's it. She has to glue a lace front to her head in 90-degree heat. That's the only option for her. But what do you ladies think? Have you seen a divide between bald-headed 4C girls versus long hair 4C girls? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.